Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 9. I am your host, the one, the only Irish Hulk. I'm glad to see I have a couple of subscribers. I hope you guys spread the word about this channel. Um, Let everybody know what's going on, especially with the whole NoDQ.com situation. I also see that there are specific fans who have subscribed to my page. Excuse me. And some are feeling my opinion, others aren't. And that's exactly what I was shooting for. But thank you very much, and I hope you continue watching. Spread it around to whoever, subscribe, ask questions, send me links. I will try to cover everything I can, because that's half the reason that I'm also doing is to interact with you guys also. Because overall, we are the internet wrestling community, and if we can't coincide with each other and at least be able to communicate, channels like this are kind of pointless. So I'm just throwing that out there. Monday Night Raw was extremely interesting. I was surprised to see Stephanie. I was not surprised to see Kevin Nash, especially what happened at Summerslam 2011. I wasn't really hyped up about any of the extra non-advertised matches, like I posted a couple episodes ago. They came out to be good, but they could have filled those slots with actual storyline-driven material. The other thing I was going to bring up also is, did anybody notice that Kevin Nash's goatee is crooked, and the dye color he put into his goatee isn't the same as his hair? Excuse me. I found that kind of strange, especially for somebody as full of vanity as he is. Maybe he just doesn't give a fuck anymore. I don't know. But the storyline seems to be going in a good direction, and I don't know if they're gonna let John Cena have a rematch, because technically CM Punk owes him a rematch, because that's part of his rematch clause, and CM Punk also gets his rematch clause. And Rey Mysterio last night we saw had his rematch clause, so everybody has a fucking rematch clause. Alberto Del Rio, he gave, I'd say, a 6 out of 10 main event last night on Monday Night Raw. I don't think he's going to be a bad champion. I don't think he's going to be a spectacular champion, especially hearing from a couple of different websites that he plans to retire in 5 years, because he doesn't feel like being one of those trademark American wrestlers who push themselves beyond their means, especially in old age, getting injured, and being forced to continue being on television, such as Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. Not saying that these guys aren't rich enough as it is, but they're just too sucked into it. They don't do anything smart and try to take care of their bodies as they go forward in time. People like The Rock, people like Roddy Piper, people like Steve Austin, even though they have gotten injured, people like Edge, they realize that they have a whole future beyond professional wrestling, and they've tried to do everything to preserve themselves. So I don't see Alberto being in that position, since he's still kind of young as it is. I understand he also wrestled for AAA and a couple of other promotions in the past. He also did some MMA fighting. If you look up on YouTube and type in Dos Caras Jr. MMA, you will see him in an MMA fight in his luchador mask, and I think he gets his ass stomped in. But it's actually pretty entertaining, and he is kind of talented. That's really everything that was noteworthy about Monday Night Raw. I wasn't really impressed with much of anything else. Oh, the other thing I was going to bring up, which is kind of but I'm personally a fan of it, because people around my age, I'm 29, and I grew up from the very beginning of when it came on pay-per-view for the first time, the first WrestleMania, the second WrestleMania, all that, and I've watched it all through the late 80s, early 90s, up until now. So, I was always a fan of Bobby Heenan, and I feel he is like one of the greatest managers of all time. Why I bring him up is they brought him up last night with Dolph Ziggler, Vikki Guerrero, and Jack Swagger. I'm hoping she follows in his footsteps, like they're kind of teasing at, and forms her own stable. There hasn't been a really good stable in a very long time. And if she does that with a couple of random guys, she could really turn people's careers around. Obviously, after Eddie Guerrero passed away, she began to form her own career, mostly on SmackDown, but in WWE in general. And it's not really a coincidence, but if you put that much time and energy behind somebody's character like they have with her, you're obviously going to be somewhat in a Hall of Fame capacity someday. I feel she falls under the managing practices of those such as Sensational Sherry, Sable. I'm sorry, not Sable. Sunny, and can't really think of anything else. There obviously are a couple of others. I'm trying to think of good female managers. Obviously, there's like Classy Freddie Blassie, Mr. Fuji, but Bobby Heenan led an amazing stable that even almost went up to the $1 million corporation in the early 90s. They really don't have those anymore, and they haven't had anything like that since, unfortunately, the NWO. Only because everybody's been trying to copy off of the NWO specifically. This is 2011. They need to think of brand new ideas, and if they are going to resurrect old ones, don't go to WCW 1996 to 2001, because everybody has seen that attempted over and over and over, most recently in TNA with Immortal, which is going down the fucking toilet. If you're going to copy off anybody, copy off of a pure genius in this sport, which is Bobby Heenan. He led so many people to workhorse titles, main event titles, tag team titles. I mean, the list goes on and on. She's beginning her own legacy with obviously Edge, but if you think about it, she also had the Edgeheads, and she also had Chavo. Under her belt now, obviously, Dolph Ziggler, and if she hangs on to it, she could have Jack Swagger. I can think of definitely a couple of other guys who would extremely benefit from her if they decide to actually give them to her. One that comes right off the top of my head is Tyler Rex, because he hasn't really been on TV that much, but he's a little powerhouse. So he could definitely do some damage also. I'm trying to think of who else. And yes, I understand this video is running kind of long, but I just want to open up the WWE website. See a roster, because I know there's definitely a couple of other guys. And if anything, it's not only the fact that she can bring them to titles, she can add extra storylines to the fucking show, which WWE has been lacking for so long. I'm hoping that in time, that it's hopefully going to produce more main event talent also. Because if she takes guys that aren't really in the main event picture and pushes them, like she did with Edge, with the Edgeheads, obviously. Zack Ryder was one of those guys. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna say over time she can definitely do things with like Brodus Clay. Kurt Hawkins, the other half of the Edgeheads, David Otunga, Drew McIntyre. Jesus Christ, what a big fucking flop with him. He's supposed to be the chosen one, and he got thrown down the fucking toilet. What the fuck is his other name? I can't find him on the roster list for some strange reason. Mike McGillicuddy. He could be like the next Mr. Perfect right there, because he has all the fucking tools. All he needs is a manager, because he doesn't really have a voice behind the mic yet. I would even throw Mark Henry with her, because he's a powerhouse. You throw a good stable together, you have somebody who can be a mouth, somebody who can showboat, and a couple of powerhouses, and you have a really decent stable. Besides that, you can throw in, like I said, Tyler Rex, Tyson Kidd, even. Trent Beretta. Just to build up some of these guys, because eventually, I guarantee you, in 5 to 10 years, they're not going to have anybody, like, noteworthy anymore. I guarantee it, in the next 5 years, Big Show is going to retire. I'm just trying to look over this. If the rumors are true, there isn't going to be an Alberto Del Rio. Rey Mysterio is going to be gone. Yeah. I really don't see anybody else of any great importance that's going to continue wrestling. Possibly R-Truth. If anybody remembers back in the day, K-Quick. So he's technically an old WWE alumni. They just repackaged him. The Great Khali definitely isn't, because he can barely move around in the ring as is. Undertaker isn't gonna be there. Triple H, he might pull 1 or 2 more matches out of his ass, but he'll be gone. And William Regal, to my knowledge, doesn't even wrestle anymore. So, with that, I'm really hoping that they push this whole stable idea behind her. I'm not a Vikki Guerrero, like, uber fan, but right now it's better than a shitload of things that are on professional wrestling programming for either televised promotion right now. Thank you very much for watching. Again, subscribe. Paste this everywhere. I encourage you to paste it to people such as Jeff Meacham, Noah Donish. Let them know my opinion, because I don't subscribe to NoDQ.com anymore, because I don't feel like getting sucked into the bullshit, and I'm not a stupid fan like they make people out to be. So I would love to hear their reactions. And I'll see you next time.